people were making TikToks about me, being like, oh, Alison Wonderland, because she doesn't want to play a show. I'm sick, like the Mean Girls thing. And I just was sitting there like crying, like reading this just in fucking hospital, like, fuck you. But I don't owe it to you to tell them like what I went through. I don't fucking owe it to anyone. And when I'm ready, I'll tell my story, which is now. Hi, I'm Katie Bain, Billboard Senior Music Correspondent. I'm here with the one and only Alison Wonderland. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, especially in this special state of being.
Yeah.
You're about to have a baby.
Literally about to have a baby.
Any minute now.
Any minute.
Could happen here today. We don't want that to happen. But
I said the middle name would be Billboard if the baby was born today.
Which would be a really nice shout out. But so we have a lot to talk about because a lot of things are about to happen.
Yes.
In your life. So
a lot.
You're about to release Ghost World.
Yes.
And it's your first Alison Wonderland album since 2022.
Yeah.
With Lona.
It's Lona, yeah.
Yeah. So I obviously did the Whyte Fang project in between those two projects. But why did you feel like it was time to bring Alison Wonderland back, and how did you kind of get into the mode where you're back in the studio making that music?
It just really felt like it was time. I think for Alison, it's more about the songwriting, a lot more about the songwriting with Whyte Fang. You know, I have a lot of feature vocalists on those records, and when I was making Genesis, the Whyte Fang album, it just kind of felt where I was at the time, which I'll be bringing back again soon.
Okay.
Very excited about that. But I did feel like it was time to release another Alison album. I had something to say. I had a story, you know, about a little time capsule in my life. And I was just ready to do it. And I think, honestly, making the Whyte Fang album gave me a lot of inspiration again to make an Alison album, because I was feeling a little bit stuck in where I was sitting. And I had so much fun making the Whyte Fang album. It felt really free. You know, I released it on my own. You know, I was just making whatever the fuck I wanted. And I've always done that, but I felt a little bit like pigeonholed in how free I could be for a while. And so, you know, with this album, with Ghost World, I just took the energy of what I was doing with Whyte Fang. I didn't overthink anything. And I just told my narrative again. And I had a lot of fun in the studio, because I don't think I would have been able to release an album. And I had called my manager and said, because I'd started writing for the album, and I just was like, I don't think I want to do this. It doesn't feel right. I don't know where I'm sitting in this world. And then after that talk, I just decided to say, fuck it, and just make whatever the hell I was feeling without thinking too much. And I A&R'd the album myself, and I was given that freedom and, you know, understanding. Basically, I was told, we just want you to be excited, which I was so grateful for, because I think not a lot of people say that when an artist is making an album. So yeah, I thought it was time to do it. I just had a lot to say, and I was feeling some type of way. I was feeling quite lost, not really knowing where I was fitting. And I've always felt like that as an artist. And I've never really verbalized it that much in terms of, as an artist and as a person, where do I fit in? And that's basically what this album was about. And I wanted to create a world for anyone that felt that way.
Yeah.
We were originally going to call it Ghost, but it was too personal. And I was like, no. It needs to be a world. And I want to create a universe for other people that feel that way. We can personify that feeling a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
I would love to unpack some of those points, because I know when you announced that the album was coming, you made this really intriguing statement. You said, as you just said, that you didn't totally fit in the industry.
No.
Which, you know, from an outside perspective, I'm like, that's fascinating, because we see this person who is ostensibly like killing it, playing giant stages, releasing big albums. Yeah. Tell me about what was going on internally that made you feel that way.
It's still going on.
Okay.
Like even last night, I think, and it's funny because when I talked to a lot of other artists, they knew exactly how I felt. It's not a woe is me thing. This is just a fact. It's how I feel. I just was like, is it over? And there's a song on the album called Is This the End? where it was, you know, a really humbling song to write. I wrote it in about 5 minutes. It's the last song on the album. And I always felt like I needed to say it. It was really like in me, but I couldn't find the right words. And then all of a sudden it came out. And it was just about feeling replaceable in this industry. And is this like working anymore?
Yeah, right.
And, you know, especially when, you know, there was a long build to my overnight success, right? It was 10 years. And then all of a sudden, everything aligned. And like, that's been 10 years since that aligned. So it's been like, you know, and it's more just like, who is she anymore?
Right.
And so I needed to create my own world, because I really, still to this day, like, I don't feel like an industry darling. I don't feel like, you know, I don't know. I wish I had more feedback from peers and stuff like that, which I haven't. But in saying that, the thing that does keep me going is my fans. Like, they're the reason I'm up there. It's not because of anyone else. It's really not.
Yeah.
And so that's why I wanted to create this world. It was for us. And I think me not feeling like I fit in, other people understood that. And I've always been really honest with my songs. And I think the people that have been attracted to my music have felt aligned with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have them to thank. I don't really have anyone else to thank, you know?
So it sounds like the world that you created is kind of a salve or an antidote to this feeling that you had. And so I would love to understand the particulars of that world and, you know, how it looks and how it feels and what you created, the vibe in there.
It's more just like I'm wandering around limbo and like I'm trying to find other people that are also wandering around limbo, because I found like so many people found it really hard to define me, or I don't know. I'm very self-critical and I'm very competitive with myself. And yeah, I felt very lonely in this industry.
Yeah.
Very lonely. And yeah, I mean, I say to my manager, I call him like, is this the end? Like, I don't know. That's how I feel. But I was like, if I'm going to do this album, I'm going to do everything I can to be as real as I can with it. And like, I'm just going to go all out and I'm going to turn up to everything. Like, I'm here about to give birth. You know what I mean? Like, I'm literally going to live my life. I've been playing shows up until 9 months. I'm giving it my all and I'm really going to mean it. And hopefully it speaks to people. I'm obviously like scared to release it. I just think we're in also a different ecosystem with music now where it's very content oversaturated, and I'm not a very good, like, I don't know. I love, you know, tweeting and saying, it's just like, for me, I'm a writer. So I love like writing my thoughts and stuff, but it just feels a little bit different at the moment. And I feel like a lot of people going back to Ghost World, feel a little bit lost in the world right now. There's like so many conversations happening and no one really knows the truth of anything. And I think it's really easy to feel lost and to feel lost with your voice. And it's just very loud online. And so for me, I see Ghost World as like almost touching grass and getting outside of all that noise, which I needed to do. And, you know, I don't think social media is good for our brains. We say is we're probably going to put this on social media.
All of it's going to end up there, and it's bad for you, but we hope you watch it.
Well, I think like in the future, there's going to be some sort of warning, like on smoking packets.
Yeah. No, I think that's already happening with scientists being like, I can't believe we gave 2 whole generations complete unbridled access to this.
Yeah.
And, like, look at what it's done.
I think it's breaking people's brains. And like, I had to get offline because my brain was feeling a little bit for a while, but now I'm back on, and everything you see on my socials is me. No one else has my logins. I reply to everyone. But yeah, you know, musically, I just went back to my roots, like where I wanted to be. Like, a lot of people have said, you know, what they've heard so far reminds them of where I was at with Run, which is kind of like my truest form. And, you know, but obviously more evolved, hopefully. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the album, and I should have said this before we even started, is absolutely incredible. Like it's sick. And I'm not just like saying that because we're on camera. It's very good start to finish.
Thank you.
It's cohesive, it's stylish, it's very smart. It's like, and I'm a bass person, so like it hits a lot of sweet spots for me.
Yeah,
It's incredible.
I'm a bass person too, and I was just like, that's what I'm missing. And also, like, what I put in this album, which I don't think I've done as much in the past, is a sense of humor. Like,
Okay, yeah.
again, fuck is such a sense of humor for me because it's actually about a very serious topic. But I just thought, like, how can I get through life if I'm just going to be so serious about everything?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I have to laugh to get through it. And so there are quite a few tracks on there where it's just me having a sense of humor about life and what was going on.
I need to switch it up. Fuck all the people who told me that it was gonna be okay, all the broke promises.
Yeah. So, like, I think it's just, I just wanted it to be fun. I wanted to be able to play every song off the album in a set as is, which recently I've been playing 12 of the 14 tracks out.
And they work.
They've been working.
Great. Did you find, because this is the first Alison Wonderland album since you became a mother, did having a son affect your creative process in any way?
Yeah, it made me more creative. I was actually told, I went to see I actually did a podcast where this psychic was like, oh, you're going to have to it's really going to tone down how you feel creatively when you have a child one day. And I was like, really? And I was really worried about it. But honestly, when I made the Whyte Fang album, I was pregnant.
Yeah.
And then when I had Max, I was feeling even more creative. I was like, I created something else that wasn't music. And like, that's the ultimate creation is life. Like, it was the craziest thing. I felt very powerful. And I do again, like, nothing can stop me. And it is very like inspiring to go through that.
Yeah.
Especially when I had actually quite a hard time falling pregnant. And I'm sure we'll talk about it. But, again, fuck is actually weirdly about something that happened to do with that.
Okay.
But, yeah, I just, I felt, firstly, I didn't realize what love was until I had a kid. Like, I thought I loved things, but you look at this being that's like a blank canvas and you're just like, I'm going to try my hardest not to fuck this up for you.
Right. And imprint love on you.
That's
in every
all
moment.
I feel.
Yeah.
That's all I feel. And when I look at him, I'm just like, this love is, it's like being a Molly. I don't know. I've never done Molly actually. So.
But what these people must feel has to be akin to motherhood.
Well, I see how they look when they're Molly.
They're very happy.
I know. I'm so lame. I don't know. I'm in the dance thing and I've never done Molly.
I think that's commendable.
But it's really just makes me want to never be whack and be my truest self. Like, I don't ever want him to see his, also, to be honest, I'm a woman in a very male-dominated industry. And when I found out I was having a boy, I was like, okay, well, if anyone's going to be the mother of a boy, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to make sure he knows how to respect women and, like, that his mum is, like, a badass and that once we become mothers, we lose our own identity. And I think that's bullshit. And I want anyone that's watching this to know that that is bullshit. You can choose like who you want to be. And there's just like a weird narrative I was told so many times. I hope you don't get pregnant. Your career will be over. And it actually reminded me of when I started DJing where people were like, oh, you can't do this. And I was like, well, fucking watch me.
I wanted to talk to you about that specifically because I saw it on your Instagram. You made a really great statement about it.
Yeah.
Who told you shouldn't or couldn't? And then how have you?
Because people people all around me in the industry, including people that worked for me, including people that worked around me. I even had like one of the biggest DJs in the world go to me like after I had Max, like, didn't you just have a baby? Like, that's crazy. You can still DJ. And I was like, what? Like, bruh. It was like such a weird statement to me because I don't feel like all it's done is given me more love and made me more empathetic to people.
Yeah.
Like that's the biggest change I felt, is like I see everyone as someone's child. I do want to also say, realistically managing this, I have a very good support network.
Sure.
And I think people need to know that. Like I have a really supportive partner, finally. I feel like you've been on this journey with me for so long. Yeah, and, a really good support network around me, my management, my agents. If I need to go away, there's care for the kid. And I work from home, so he's around me all the time, But, it all evens out.
Sure.
And I think I don't know. I just remember Grimes saying to me when I was pregnant with Max, like, this is punk rock, what you're doing. And I was like, okay, it made me feel so much better. And I think there's less of a stigma around that now. A lot more people who are really dope ass women have had kids. I look at Rihanna or Halsey or Grimes, and there's so many, Amelie Lenz.
Yeah, Anna Luno.
Anna Luno, who I just want to shout out, has been just such an amazing support.
Great.
And I love her so much, and she's just such a legend and inspiration. So it's just been a lot easier. I think now people are like, yeah, this is badass, this is dope. You don't have to be buried in a tent for 9 months, and people ask how did you do this pregnant? How did you tour? How did you write? And I'm like, because this shit makes me happy. And I don't want to sit at home and overanalyze all the pain that I went through to get this pregnancy and overanalyze any symptom, because I will go crazy. And the best advice my therapist gave me was live your life and let the baby cook.
I understand that there were some canceled shows and that you weren't able to reveal that at the time. Do you want to talk about just sort of going through that? Yeah.
On my 4th miscarriage, it's ridiculous sentence. It was at the end of last year, and I had to urgently fly back from Asia because something wasn't feeling right. Went to the doctor there, and 3 hours later I was on so much Xanax on a plane, knowing that it wasn't viable. And then, my body didn't reject the pregnancy, so I had to have surgery, which is why I'm also really, I think it's really important to understand reproductive stuff with women, because it's dangerous to not have that surgery if you need it.
Right.
And so I had to cancel some shows, and to this day I get DMs being like, oh, you're never coming to this place because you keep canceling. Or people were making TikToks about me being like, oh, Alison Wonderland because she doesn't want to play a show. I'm sick, the Mean Girls thing. And I just was sitting there crying, reading this just in fucking hospital, fuck you. But I don't owe it to you to tell them what I went through. I don't fucking owe it to anyone. And when I'm ready, I'll tell my story, which is now. And it was so horrible to have people so unsupportive and rude.
Yeah, the people that are supposed to be your fans.
And I had said, look, I'm going through a lot. There's surgery, it's medical, it's an emergency. Please respect my privacy. And it was to this day, I'm getting comments and bombarded about the fact that I had to cancel shows at the end of last year. But I hope that you see this, and I hope you know it's because I had a miscarriage and I had to have surgery to get the baby out. Cool. Thank you. That sucked because I did not feel like a person, and I just didn't want to have to tell everyone that. I wasn't ready to. And it's not I don't owe them that. There was this weird entitlement. And everyone knows I love to play shows. I'm out there. I only cancel if it's genuinely a real problem. I've played shows my entire pregnancy. I've turned up everywhere. I'm here. But it was really, really tough, and it was really hard, and my family didn't even know. So I didn't want to have to go out because they were already reading that I had to have surgery. I didn't want to have to, and I had to tell promoters and for insurance and stuff. It just was really, I remember walking out of the doctor in Asia and calling my booking agent who didn't know and being hey, I've had a miscarriage and I need to go home
right now.
And like, and he's like, oh my God, you know, put me on a plane. And then, yeah, we thought everything would sort itself out and it didn't. So I had to go and get surgery. And yeah, it was very dangerous to not do that. Like,
Yeah, of course.
And I didn't want to be stuck in a place where my doctors weren't. So yeah, I had to go home and, you know, and then people were being rude because, you know, I tried to turn up again after canceling shows, you know, a couple of weeks later. And I had shows in Aspen and San Francisco and LA, and I turned up to them and I played them, and people were still commenting like, oh, she's just faking all this shit. It's like, no, I'm just like, I was on that stage, like trying to get better, like trying to feel okay.
Yeah.
And it was like actually a really great thing for me to do because I got up and like it was a distraction from everything that was going on. But seeing these comments and like reading these DMs and seeing these TikToks and reading and like getting sent stuff on Reddit, it was like really soul shattering.
Is that the period that you kind of dipped from the internet for a while?
Yeah, I did. I had to. Yeah, it was really tough. And I think all of you suck. Whoever DM me, like, fuck you, like, for real.
But how do you then, going through what you experienced, have the courage and sort of the physical will to then try again?
I think when you go through something like this and there's this like survival instinct that you have where you just want to keep, well, for me, my whole life, whenever I failed at something, not that that's a fail, but like it does feel like one. I've always wanted to just keep trying until I don't fail. And you get this tunnel vision for, okay, no, this is like gonna work. I'm gonna keep trying. I need answers. I need to know why. And I think when you're on that journey and you almost have it, but you don't, you keep trying to work towards it. And that's an analogy for my entire career, actually, probably.
Sure.
It's just how I operate. For me, like to have sanity was being able to move forward and try again. I think if I didn't try again, I would have gone pretty insane. Yeah.
The tenacity gave you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like, okay, no, let's keep trying. This happens to women, you know, it's happened to me a lot. And yeah, you know, there's been times where I've gone through a miscarriage and you know, Garth, my manager, being like, oh, do you want to cancel the show? Obviously, it wasn't like surgical, but I was like, no, I need to get up there. I need to play.
Yeah.
So me being able to move forward and like focus on something else really helps me heal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's kind of like been a thing that I've silently struggled with for years.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. And like anyone that has gone through that, like, it's okay to mourn. Don't let anyone minimize that feeling. That is, your feelings are so valid, however you feel when you go through it. And people shouldn't trivialize it. And just know it's like okay to feel like it's a death. It's okay to feel mourning and in limbo and frustrated and angry and all those feelings. And yeah, I've had people try and minimize it, and like it's not about them. It's about you and how you feel. So you're not alone. And I've spoken to, you know, many women that have secretly struggled with stuff like this, and it's never easy.
And it's invisible.
It's invisible, and you know, as soon as a lot of people personify things as soon as they find out. So you really are, you know, as early or late as it happens, you really are just, it is a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway.
I mean, you said something before that, you know, Ghost World, you know, and I can't help but wonder then how much of the writing on this album is about the experiences that you're talking about.
Again, Fuck is about that fourth miscarriage, actually. Where I was like, again, fuck. But I was so messed up. I was like, the only way I can get through this is writing a song with a sense of humor.
Yep.
And like kind of being aggressive about it, because it's just like, how do I move forward? You know, like if you read all the lyrics of Again Fuck, it's like, I think it's like, I'm walking down the road that I've been before. I run in circles thinking I'm invincible. Didn't mean it, did they? This is about the doctors that didn't know what to say. Didn't mean it, did they? I need a break. Get offline. I need to switch it up. Again, fuck. Like I'm fucking over it. And that's like basically what that whole song's about.
Yeah.
And then another song was I Want to Live in a Dream.
It's not your fault, they say. Doesn't matter anyway.
I wrote that about, and even the video clips about this, and again, like I had fucking comments about this, like, oh, why are you talking about being sick again? I'm like, fuck you, dude. It's like about this one thing that happened that, you know, and I got, and yeah, so I Want to Live in a Dream is about just trying to escape that feeling of reality. I think a lot of people at the moment feel like they don't fit in anywhere, and a lot of people have said that to me. A lot of big artists have said that to me, that they're struggling because it's very like quick right now. And people, like, I'm an album artist. I'll always be an album artist. I love albums. Like, I don't know how else to make something. Like a one-off single is cool, and I'll probably do that, but it doesn't make as much sense to me. I don't know why.
I think, if I may, I think you're a storyteller and you're a world builder, and you can't really do that on a track.
It's really hard because I'm like, what's the context? It's just like a throwaway track in my head. But in saying that, like some of the one-off singles that I've done have done really well, and you know, they're usually really cool collaborations. But I just love albums. Like my favorite album of the year was the Turnstile album.
Yeah.
And like, I love listening to that album from beginning to end because you know how much thought was put into that record. And like, for me, it's just like I'm immersed in this world for a little bit. Yeah, I think that, you know, I think albums are coming back.
I do too, because I think people want something that feels slower.
People need a world
Yeah.
that feels like exactly that they can escape for a little bit. It is way too loud right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone needs to hug.
Okay, well, speaking of, a lot is about to happen for you.
Yeah.
And so take me through the next month, 2 months, and, you know, then potentially into playing again. What does it look like for you as this album comes out in tandem with you having your second child?
Well, we've definitely planned everything out so that I'm feeling comfortable. And if I don't, the thing is like, same as the first, you just don't know.
Yeah.
Like when I had Max, a month later, I was back in the studio, you know, you just don't know how you're going to feel. And so, you know, I'm about to have like literally about to have the baby, and then the album comes out. But like there's enough time where I think I should be able to come out and see people during that week. And then have a couple of shows before New Year's, and then next year is when I do the tour next year.
Okay.
You know, I have a whole other album ready of other stuff from another artist.
Oh.
Side project, which we already know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's exciting too. There's you're creative mode.
I'm in creative mode. Like that's the thing. Like, I don't really feel like it's slowed me down. I just feel like I don't know where I fit. Cause also, you know, it's really hard to relate to other moms that aren't in the industry.
I can't imagine why.
Like, yeah, it's just, you know, it's a bit of a like, where do I fit in? But, you know, I, again, need to shout out my support network because that's how I'm able to do this.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm so glad you found that. I'm so glad that things are working out as they are. And thank you for telling us about it.